Dog is the Irish Hound of Hell.
Hey, happy St. Patrick's Day. I'm Jammer.
I am Shag Dog. We're drinking.
We are the Spitter Swallow Beer Review.
That's right, Jammer.
Where the crack is at. Right?
Yeah.
Hey, Shag Dog, I got Prosperity Brewers Crutch Plate IPA. It's an Indian IPA from a Florida brewery here. It says Taste Prosperity, and it's right here in Florida itself where I'm at. This is Boca Raton. Boca Raton. I used to live down that way a long time ago. Had a different life.
Oh, you live down there?
Yeah, by Boca Raton. I mean, I was around that area.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was...
For some reason, I always think Boca's on the Gulf Coast, but it's on the Atlantic, right?
Yeah. Now, this poured a cloudy yellow golden color, and it has a nice frothy off-white head. You can't see my can because the green screen, but that's okay. It's green itself, and it has a nice hops and barley there, everything.
I meant to say, Boca is on the Atlantic. I thought it was on the Gulf of America.
Yeah. Most people call it just the Gulf anyway.
Yeah.
That's how important we are. That's how busy we are. We don't even have time to say Gulf of America, Gulf of Mexico. Fuck that. It's the Gulf.
The Gulf.
Yeah, it's the Gulf.
And then what happens if they say, which Gulf? Oh, you froze. I froze. I don't know.
Gulf. What do you mean, which Gulf?
Oh, okay.
Look on the map of the world. Is there only one Gulf?
No, there's lots of Gulfs.
Where do you see the other Gulfs?
Oh, you got the Persian Gulf. You got Gulf of Tonkin. You got a whole bunch of Gulfs.
But would they call it the Gulf? They would call it the Persia.
What are the top 5 biggest Gulfs in the world? Gulf of Mexico, Persian Gulf, Gulf of Alaska, Gulf of Guinea, Gulf of Oman, Gulf of Aden.
Hey, you can't do beer reviews here unless you're saying Gulf of America. I'm sorry.
I know. Hey.
You need to go back. Otherwise, I'm going to ban you from the Spitter Swallow Beer Review to be able to do beer reviews.
I think, since I ran out of that Gulf once, they should name it after me, Gulf of Shag Dog, because I thought a shark was headed towards you, but it was a good dolphin.
Yeah. This has a nice hoppy, piney, grapefruit smell to it, aroma. Nice and light and fruity, actually. A little citrusy. Anyway, let me dive into it. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, I'm just drinking a Murphy Stout on the side. I reviewed this last week, or a couple days ago. So,
man, that's smooth, Shag Dog. It's not overly bitter. It's just mildly bitter, pleasantly bitter. And it has that nice piney, resiny type flavors with the grapefruit, citrus type thing. Maybe even a slight orange and lemon in there. That's how I'm picking up on it. I'm going to give it a few more sips, and then I'm going to grade it because I'm not fooling around. I'm going to get it done and get it over with so that people who are watching the video will get the grade and everything out of the way real quick. Here we go. Yeah, very smooth, Shag Dog. Nice, mild sweetness to it. And the bitterness is mild also. But they're complementary to each other. You got the sweetness in the beginning and the front, and then a little bitter at the end. And a little bit of a drying sensation, which makes you want to take another sip. So that's what I'm going to do, Shag Dog. I'm going to take another sip. Shag Dog, I'm going to go ahead and grade this. The grade I'm going to give this.
Get a word in.
I actually would say that this is actually, in my opinion, a nice straight up B and a swaff because it's that easy to drink. I don't know if I told you what the IPA was. I mean, not IPA, ABV. Well, what's the IPA there, Shag Dog? It's a 7% ABV. I think it gets an 82 on BA.
Yes, 82. Yeah, American IPA.
Yeah, it's a very easygoing beer. Granted, I still wouldn't buy a bunch of these. Or all right, let me put it this way: granted, I wouldn't drink a bunch of these because after a while, that piney, resiny, grapefruit type flavors, the slight bitterness, it just start to bother me and bother my stomach, and so I wouldn't drink a lot of them. I'd drink a couple, maybe 3, and that'd be about my max. Not because of the ABV, but because of the flavor itself. I would have to switch it up and get something like a regular lager after that, and to kind of wash the palate down and clear the.
Yeah, IPAs aren't good for pounding, or you're watching the game. You're not going to sit there and drink a 6-pack of IPAs. There's probably some people that do that, but now some pale ales that are a little bit lighter, hoppy, just a regular pale ale,
with the
maybe
citra hops, maybe
Yeah, it's lighter, a little bit more refreshing and easier to drink. Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of these macro beers came about, is because back in the day with the citra, all the different hops, the piney hops and grapefruit hops, they said, man, that's pretty bold, that's pretty bitter and all that stuff. Let's smooth it out, mellow it out a little bit so people can drink more. And so people would buy more and drink more, and they would have that flavor, but it would be a little of the flavor. It wouldn't be so bold. It would be light, and that's why the beer became popular, because it does have that flavor, but it was easy to drink, and I could do that after I mowed the lawn. It wasn't high in ABV. It was 4 or 5%, and I could work all day and go out there and drink beer the whole time I'm working.
How does it feel with this being your 55th St. Patrick's Day alive?
55th? It's 54.
Technically, you're 2 months old on your first St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, I really don't remember too much other than in school pinching the girls when they didn't wear green.
Oh, really? I didn't do that.
You missed out on some fun there, pinching some asses and little nipples. Other than that, I mean,
yeah. St. Patrick's Day. I mean, I remember wearing green to school. St. Patrick's Day. I think, man, even my first year in the Army, I went to like a Bennigan's for St. Patrick's. I was still underage, so I couldn't drink, and I was with 2 guys that were of age drinking, so that wasn't even fun for me.
I thought once you're in the Army, you could drink if you wanted to.
You still go by the state law, yeah.
I'm sorry. If you're in the military, I don't care. I'm going to say this. You're in the military. You may not be 21, but you know what? I think that if you're in the military, you should be able to drink. You should be able to smoke. You should be able to whore around if you want to. And the reason why I say that is because you're out there, you're willing to sacrifice your life in order to protect the freedoms and rights of Americans throughout the country and the world and everything. And you know what? It's a small thing to allow people of that age. I mean, let's be honest. If you're willing to sign up, you're more mature than most people are. And if you weren't mature before, you become mature when you're in the Army.
My mother might disagree, but...
Well, you have this notorious... see, the problem that you have, Shag Dog, and I love you, brother. I mean, let's face it. The problem you have is that you have a little bit of Italian in you.
This ain't going to make me hate you when you say this.
No. Okay. You have a little bit of Italian in you, and you have a lot of Irish rebellion in you. And those two, I mean, notoriously are against the
yin and yang.
The normal stature of law and order. I mean, let's face it. The Irish have their own way of looking at justice. So do the Italians.
The Italians.
Let's face it. There is such a thing as, Irish justice and Italian justice. So, I mean, and a lot of them coincide, especially if you're both, and which you are, And so you have that rebellious streak in you that want to fight the system, to fight the English, to fight the status quo.
Sometimes I just want to stay home and eat some potatoes or some spaghetti.
Potatoes and spaghetti. Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, you wanted to have money just given to you for protection. I get it.
For protection. That's yeah.
You go out there and you want somebody to collect some money, protection money to give to you and all that stuff. Yeah, I get it.
Don't forget, extortion goes hand in hand with protection
or potatoes.
Yeah. I was going to say about what you said with the military. It's kind of funny because when I was in stationed overseas, there's one guy who's 18 when he got to where I was at. Did basic training IT, came straight there, 18. Well, I did his 2 years there, and he's coming back here to the States. He could drink down there. Mm-hmm. Get back to the States, he's 20 years old, can't go out drinking legally. So, isn't that funny? He's out there at the bars, partying.
And then he put in for a transfer back down there, right?
You would think he would, but I don't think he did, though.
No, I don't. To me, I don't think that's right. If you're willing to fucking fight for the country and you're going to end up fighting for the country because you're in the military and everything, then guess what? You should be able to drink.
Yeah. That was funny. My friend's mother, one time I was home on leave. My friend in the Marines was home on leave at the same time. We're at my other friend's house. His mother had a bar, keg parties all the time. Well, it was the first time we got to drink there with the adults. We're both on leave, and they're like, well, Shag Dog and Kevin could drink because they're in the military. And all of our friends that were there were like, what the fuck? Yeah. Hey, she let us drink beer. We're like sitting there like, yeah.
And that's the way it should be because,
because we were both like 19 or 20 at the time, so we were still underage. But
let's face it, that whole arbitrary law, I mean, when you really get right down to it, why is it 18-year-olds get sent off to war?
Yeah.
Why isn't it 21 and 22-year-olds?
Yeah,
if weird. You can't make good decisions until you're 21, and that's what they claim in order for you to drink. You can't make good decisions, that your mind is still growing and still evolving and everything like that. And then if you drink alcohol before then, you mess it up and all that kind of crap. Well, okay, all right. If that's true, then why are you sending off people at 18 to war? Makes no sense.
Yeah, I think when they do the draft, they do the 18-year-olds first, I believe, and they go up to like 24 or whatever hell they. Yeah.
And they want to claim it's because when you're 18, you're able to run and jump and do everything better than a 20-year-old or a 22-year-old.
Really, what it is your brain's more spongible still to be brainwashed.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing that I don't like about the military. They will brainwash. And there's a lot of people who become brainwashed and go out into civilian land. And then they think they should run, they become managers or business owners, and they think they should run their business like the military.
Yeah.
And they think they should impose the military type of way of thinking on civilians who are working for them. And that is just absurd. You can't do that crap.
It depends what kind of business it is, but yeah, I understand what you're saying.
I mean, if it's a business that's handling state secrets and stuff like that, then I can understand it a little bit more. But if you're just a regular business...
I do like that. I mean, I wish our places ran more like that. Because they can let people get away with too much shit.
Well, I don't think you want it ran like military. I think you want it ran like normal people would run it back 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
It's military.
That's not military. Back in the day, like when I was at Winn-Dixie as a kid working and everything like that, they didn't put up with crap. If you swept the floor of the store, and there was back then you could have cigarette butts in the store. I mean, people would smoke and they would just toss a cigarette butt down on the floor and everything. If you swept the floor and they found any kind of dirt or a cigarette butt or something like that, guess what you were doing? You were sweeping the whole store again.
Yeah.
You didn't just sweep it and that's, oh no, let me just get that. No. You sweep the whole damn store over again. Obviously, you didn't pay enough attention to get that. What's the rest of the store look like? You need to do the whole store again.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
Same thing if you mop the store and you missed a bunch of spots somewhere. Mop the whole thing over again. No, what it was teaching discipline.
But that's extreme. Why are you getting disciplined for someone else's behavior? That don't make
If
sense.
you missed it,
if you missed it, yeah. But if someone
you're
threw
the
it down
one that's
later,
doing the mopping. You're the one that's sweeping.
yeah, I know.
So
But
if you
someone
missed it because the store's closed and there should be nobody putting cigarette butts on the floor when the store's closed,
store's closed. Okay.
then you need to go and do it again.
I don't even remember people smoking in grocery stores.
They basically they told them not to, but they would come in with their cigarette and they would finish it as they were walking, and then they toss it down.
Wow. Yeah, I don't remember. Now, back in the day, hospitals, I don't remember it, but I know it happened way back in the day, like 70s, probably the 80s. They stopped smoking in hospitals, probably.
But there was more discipline back then, and it's just like I remember one time when there was a guy that was. This is the crazy thing. I'm training this guy to when I was at the grocery store and everything. I was training the guy. I said, and then you have to come in here and you have to clean the bathrooms. And I'm not cleaning no bathroom. I said, what do you mean you're not cleaning your bathroom? I'm not cleaning. Oh, okay. So you're not going to clean the bathrooms? No, I'm not cleaning the bathrooms. I said that I'm not doing it. I said, okay. Are you sure that's what you want to do? And he goes, no, I'm not cleaning it. So so that's your decision, right? You made your decision, right? And he goes, yeah. This is the funny thing. I'm 16 years old and this guy's doing this to me, right? I said, okay, that's fine. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, well, you made your decision. Now I have to take that information and make my decision. And my decision is to go tell the manager that you won't do it.
Right.
And he goes, what do you mean? I said, I asked you if you were sure if that was your decision. And he goes, and you said that was your decision, is it not? And he goes, yes, it's my decision. I'm not cleaning the bathroom. Okay, then. That's fine. Now I got to go tell him that you're not going to clean the bathroom. And so I went and told him.
Yeah.
He came back and said, you're fired. Leave. Right?
Yeah.
So now the guy is upset with me. I said, you made the decision. I didn't make that decision. You made that decision. And you know what? My boss, this tells you the time period, how different it was, right?
Wait, when you're 16 years old, the boss delegated that stuff down to you to tell people what to do, or?
Well, I was 16 and I was there already, and now the new guys coming in, and I'm having to train them.
So was it like a 65-year-old man?
No, it was just another kid, 16, 17 years old,
okay.
whatever, And he was upset with me, right? All right.
I was like wondering if you got some 65-year-old man fired.
No, but he was upset with me, and he started calling me names and all that stuff. Wait until you get off the end down. And
that's why I love.
Listen. This the best part's coming.
All right, go ahead.
He kept saying, wait till you get off. I'm gonna beat your ass and all that stuff. And my boss, this tells you how different the time period is. My boss turns around and says, you know what, James, if Jammer, you want to go out there and you want to clock out. You want to clock out and go outside and take care of your business. You go right ahead. There's no problem here. I said, okay. And I walked up to clock out, and the guy's looking at me like, what are you doing? Because he's still on his way out the door. What are you doing? And I clocked out, and I started to go outside. And he started to take off, and he went to his car and took off and ran away.
Yeah.
But my boss, this tells you how it was back then. My boss turned around and said, you want to take care of that business, go ahead.
Out in the parking lot, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Jammer. No problem.
Yeah, when I worked for the state, they were still doing that. Like up until, I think the last time I heard it, though, was like 2012 or 13. It was take care of business out in the parking lot, yeah. And a couple of people have gone out in the parking lot and taken care of business, yeah.
But that as crazy as that sounds and as weird as it sounds, it actually is, you know what? I respect it more.
Yeah.
You know why I respect it more, Shag Dog? Because you're basically saying you got an issue with me and you're talking the talk. All right, well, back it up. And when I'm available, back it up. And my boss is like, you know what? I don't believe this shit. He said that to me. I couldn't believe that shit. What was he trying to think? That's why I told you, just go ahead and go, take care of it.
Yeah, that's why at my place of work, we got sorry team leads and coaches, It's not my responsibility to tell people what to do because people take offense. I'm like, I don't want drama with the young kids and shit. I ain't telling nobody what to do. And they'll be out there like we get back from lunch. We got to pull shit out. And I'm like, I'm not telling you that somebody needs to come over and tell them what to do because I'm not telling somebody what to do. Yeah, because then they're like, well, make the same amount as me. You're not my boss.
Well,
that kind of shit.
If you were actually given more money and more responsibility in a position, then it would be different.
Right.
But you're not, and you're not in control. If they were to actually say, "Shag Dog's in charge
over here in Derry, listen to him or something,"
yeah. If he tells you to do something, just take it as me telling you to do. But
there's people there when I've been there, and a team lead tells me to do something. Okay, but there's other people like he's not the supervisor. I ain't gonna listen to him. He can't tell me what to do. I'm like, the team leads don't have any really. I mean, then they'll go back to the supervisor, of course, if someone doesn't do what they do. But there's people there who don't think the team lead is just as good as they are, or whatever.
Well, my whole thing is this: there is a sense of discipline. I mean, back then when I was working and everything, there was a sense of discipline. There was a sense of right and wrong. And if you made a mistake and admitted it, well, that's not a big deal as long as you're learning from it. And we'll overlook the fact that, okay, all right, we may have to verbally discussion with you or write you up for this, but did you learn anything from it? Well, if you learn something from it, then don't worry about it. Everything will be all right. As long as you learn. Now, if you blatantly did something and you did it again and again and again, well, guess what? It wasn't going to be that long. It was going to be once or twice, and then you were out. Mm-hmm. They didn't fiddle around. I mean, when people back in the day when I was working at the grocery store, they didn't put up with a lot of crap. Why? Because they paid more money than the fast food places. And on top of that, they didn't want to have that trouble they had with a lot of the teenage people going into the fast food places. They would be high turnover at those fast food places because of it. They wanted people who would want the money and would work and listen and everything. And guess what? That's what happened. They got people into those positions at the grocery store back then, and you wore a uniform. I wore a tie to go to work at a grocery store.
Yeah, they don't make us wear the vest or anything.
Yeah. Nowadays, you can wear shorts and wear a vest. Well, hell, you wear a vest and wear shorts now, and that's.
They don't like us wearing hoodies too, but I wear a hoodie all the time now.
I wore a tie and a vest, and I had to wear dress shoes and dress pants.
Wow, that's rough.
And a dress shirt.
Yeah, they don't care over here.
Yeah, that's the problem. They don't give a shit anymore about that stuff. There's no standards.
The biggest problem is the turnover rate because it's hard to keep people, and don't let people get away with shit forever until they eventually, okay, that's the last straw. We got to fire this guy. They just fired one guy. He called in so much. I give him a warning. Okay, we're going to take some points away.
The other thing is back then they wouldn't allow anybody to be hired that wasn't clean cut, in the sense that they had a clean cut haircut, didn't have any tattoos. If you had tattoos, you had to cover it up. You had to cover them up.
What? So I couldn't wear my chaps with nothing under it.
No, you couldn't wear those bare ass chaps. The ones that show your butt cheeks poking out, I got John Candy and that dangerous. What?
I got ass tattoos.
Yeah, you couldn't wear those because they wouldn't allow it. There was a standard and there was an image that they were trying to portray and look, and that's what they went for. And so they would force people to wear their uniform and to basically become in line with what they wanted.
Have you ever seen a man with a tattoo on his ass?
No. I've never seen a man ass.
Really? Like a shower at a pool or anything?
No, I have always avoided looking.
Oh,
obviously you looked.
Yeah, you can't help it sometimes.
Well, there you go. Those sideward glances might be an indication of.
I didn't really look till someone said, "Hey, you
might
got
be
a
some
shark tattoo on your ass."
Might be some indications that you might do a little prancing yourself.
Yeah, I never looked. I mean, I wasn't looking at guys' asses, but someone said,
I don't know.
someone was looking at the guys.
Busch Gardens bathroom. I remember going in there, and next thing you know, you were saying stuff to me, and I'm like, "What the hell?"
I did that as a joke, and the guy, like, yeah, the guy was walking by. Yeah. But
what did you say?
I said, "Geez, you got a big dick," or something like that. That guy walking by is like,
well, it would have been perfect if I would have responded better, because if I would have said, "Well, if you drink your milk, you would get."
Yeah, it would have been a lot better. But he was walking slow. He was like almost right behind me when I said it. And then when I said it, he sped up a little bit. You know, he's like a little faster.
Yeah, I remember being going to the grocery store with my friend when we worked up when I was up in North Florida, and he was there with me, and we were walking to the grocery store, and he looked at me as I was about to pay with a credit card. Right? He said, "Is that the credit card you found just outside?" You know?
Oh yeah.
And the cashier looked at him and looked at me, and I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, it's the same one."
Yeah.
Because I turned around. I said, "Yeah, it's the same one. I used it earlier. And I figured I'd try it again."
Yeah. Oh, froze up. Somebody froze. Was it me?
And the cashier looked at us like we were crazy, and then we laughed, and she was like, "Ah, okay." But little do you know, you could do that and laugh about it, and the cashier probably would have thought you were just joking.
Yeah.
Hey, you ready for another beer?
We're gonna keep the same video going, or because it's like almost time for me to get off. It's like 12:18 already. 12:20.
You want to have one another?
Yeah, let's just keep the same video going. I'll just run down and get a beer. How about that?
You want me to stay while you go run, and then I get one, and you know?
Yeah, you could talk then. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing, and sharing. I'm Jammer.
I'm Shag Dog. We'll see you in the next one.
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Have some crack.